Hey, y'alls. Because I know I'm not going to be doing a live at all this weekend, I just wanted to say quickly hello. I was going to do a live earlier today because I knew I wasn't going to be doing any lives this weekend. Um, but then I got into The Death of the Pastor's Wife, on Netflix about Mica. Oh, no, not Mica, Micah Miller. My word, I'm like shooketh over. I remember when that case first came out, and I really felt like he was involved somehow. But he was out of town, so he couldn't have done it per se. But I definitely feel like his actions led up to her death. And so I don't know that to this day, I still find a lot of him, the way he functions, super suspicious. Um, Hi, Gloria. Hi, Elsie. But it kind of reminds me of this other like drama unfolding on TikTok with this other person talking about how her husband had an affair with her best friend, and the best friend was groomed, and she actually has a lawsuit she filed against this person, which they ended up settling. And so it's so wild. And so when I was watching The Death of the Pastor's Wife, with the whole Micah Miller thing, it just made me think of this other thing on TikTok, which is like, obviously nobody's died on that one, but it's just that whole premise of, I don't know, it's so wild. With I don't How many of you know about this case? Is it just me? Am I talking to the wall and nobody else knows this case, or what? Do people know what I'm talking about, or is it like, I don't know what you're talking about? This is um Gloria said you, and it's Tiffany said, "Hi, Bocce. It's been so long since I've been able to catch a live." Hi, Tiffany. Yeah, it's going to be a really quick one, and not because I always say it's going to be a quick one, and it's not a quick one. It literally is, because I'm supposed to be out of here in 40 minutes. And the only way that this live does not end in 40 minutes is if it turns out my mother changes her mind and we're not leaving in 40 minutes. But yeah, Hey, Rachel. Oh, I was just talking about the Micah Miller case. Um, do you know about the Micah Miller case? Okay, let me see if I can pull up an article, just for the folks. Um, just for folks who don't know anything about it. I'm not familiar with the case you're talking about, said Tiffany. It's a wild case, Tiffany, and yeah. Gloria said, "Did you not see what I said about the Micah Miller case? It looked like you skipped it." I read it, but you didn't finish it. Unless you did finish it and the second half got hidden, because I don't see a second half. It ends up with "and I believe," and it just ends. So I don't know if there's uh, some words that were like automatically filtered out. I have no idea. Um, Marley said, "Hello, hello, hello." Hi, Marley. I don't know who the Thurmans are, Gloria. Is that his last name? I know his last name is Miller. Who's the Thurmans? Oh, unless this is a typo, and you know I'm bad with typos. Unless you're saying his sermons are disgusting, because okay, my phone probably changed the name Miller to Thurman because she's a jerk and I'm using voice to text. Gotcha. Yeah. I was guessing maybe you meant sermons. Sermons are disgusting. They're all gaslighting. They all projection. That guy's a vile, disgusting vermin. Those sermons that he did were, like my mother said, red flag, red flag, red flag, red, red flag. Like, I know that they picked and chose what they shared of his sermons, but the fact that all of them revolved around sex is like, how often does he, like, does every sermon have to be about that? You know what I mean? The fact that they had that many sermons that they could pull up where he's just, and my mother was like, was he preaching to himself? I was like, yeah, Mom, he pretty much was. Hey, Kelsey. You said just finished watching the Netflix doc yesterday. So sad. And I mean, right when it first happened, I remember telling my cousin, he's got to have done something. I just didn't believe that but the thing is, I mean, how quickly he wanted her cremated, how quickly y'all, it was just weird. If you have Netflix, you got to watch it. I was trying to show people on my Discord, but apparently Netflix blocked it, and somebody said that maybe I have to have a premium Discord account to be able to stream Netflix to y'all's. But like, I would love to have a conversation, and the closest thing I can do is like show it on Discord where we're watching a YouTube video about it together, because it is wild. And he has I think a trial with the FBI coming up soon in October 2026, because he lied about cyberstalking. He lied about it was so messed up. So messed up, the things that he did. Let me see if I can find what is it, backstory or story summary? I don't know. I want to give y'all a short one. See here. Rachel said, I haven't watched it yet. Is it good? I mean, it's frustrating, Rachel. I mean, even if he's not the one who shot her, like, he's definitely, his hands are not clean. If it's all I can say. Hey, Elsie. You said I haven't seen the doc. Oh, wait, I said hi to you earlier, but I'll say it hi again. I haven't seen the doc, but I'm familiar with the case. Gloria said, about the Bible without ever cracking the spine. That man never held the Bible in his hand, never read the Bible, never opened it. Nothing didn't encourage his congregation to look up scriptures, nothing. Rachel said all of his behaviors and views were red flags. I mean, my mother was like, red flag, red flag, red flag everywhere. Kenny says, Bocce, you have to do some special things with your browser to be able to do it. Google it. Oh, okay. Good to know. Prickly said, Prickly Pear 87, hello. You said, hi, it's been so long since I've caught a Bocce live. It's nice to see you, Prickly Pear. Rachel said, I'm going to watch it today. Please wait at least a day to talk about it, Bocce. Rachel, the reason I'm doing this super quick live, and I'm talking a little bit faster than usual, even though I talk fast in general, but is because I only have 34 minutes before I got to go. And I won't be doing lives just this weekend at all. So you are going to be fine. There will be no videos from me tonight or Saturday. I don't foresee myself doing one on Sunday, but I might super late on Sunday. We'll see. Miley said, I'm not sure if I know this case. I'm sad. Oh, my word, Miley, you would be sad. This case is wild. In the sense of, like, I guess he's not technically like the one, again, who killed her per se, but you have to watch it. You have to watch the documentary. I mean, like, it's messed up. Gloria said the subject of this live. So if you're going to watch it tomorrow, don't be here. No. I'm not going to. Well, I mean, I guess I am going to talk about it, but it's not like it's a real life story. So no matter what, if you read a news article, it's still not the same thing as watching the documentary itself. It's not like, oh, spoiler alert. I mean, literally, it's somebody's life that ended. So that's not a. It's the documentary is worth watching, and it's frustrating when you watch it. Karina said, Bocce, I got a live one. Wait, what are we reading? We aren't reading anything yet. I'm gonna share. See, I don't know what a good one would be. I don't. Who would maybe a time. What is this one? Timeline. Okay, maybe I'll do a timeline one because that might be the best thing that we have. Said oopsie. Prickly said, this isn't the pastor that they started looking into after his fourth wife died, right? This is someone else. Someone else. He's on his third wife. His first two wives literally looked like each other. I mean, when I saw his first wife and then his second wife, I was like, they pretty much are cut and paste. But his third wife looks very, very different. But he cheated tons, and he made her do things in the relationships, like not his third wife. I don't know anything about, like, he cheated on his second wife with the third wife. Anyways, hi Pam. Gloria said Mica was his second. He's married to his third now, and she's sus too. I mean, I don't know how she could know all of these things and be like so comfy with the idea of marrying this man. Like, like how much of a sweet talker is he that she convinced herself? I mean, like, I don't know. And even the way her husband died was so crazy. I mean, not crazy, so wild. And to me, like, I don't know. I don't know. Gloria says she bought the gun to protect herself, not to end herself. And I think he was at the park. I mean, Gloria, I would like to believe that's the case, but he was in a place where he had like 100 people that could vouch that he was there, probably. Like, he was in a very public place in a completely different location. That's why I always believed he did it. But they said that he has an alibi. Now, mind you, who knows if the alibi is true? I still haven't, I mean, hopefully, but I've always believed like he did it. There's things that are weird about it, but they said he was not anywhere near there. I don't know how they know definitively, but I would think they would have investigated, but they didn't at the same time, because they marked it suicide immediately, and he got her cremated like that. Like, like cremated. Let's go. Like, he didn't even wait, the family did. He was trying to get all the stuff that he was trying to get all of these things from all these people, all the proof of all the things that he did to her. He was trying to get it from people. So I feel like he is so sketchy on so many levels. Rachel said, Miley, I haven't watched the doc, but followed in real time. Miley said, I'll watch it once the live ends. I have a date with Zelda. I need something compelling to listen to. Rachel said, Gloria, didn't they verify his whereabouts? That's what I heard. Law and Crime. Gloria said, only by his own words. He's sus, and so is his new wife. She was married to a man in a wheelchair, and he suspiciously died drowning in a pool. I always thought the death of her husband was wild. I do. I do. And like the fact that this guy, JP or whatever, John Paul, was called by her first before her husband's own family. Wild behavior. I'd be calling his parents first. I'd be calling his family first. I want to be calling this dude that you're having an affair with first. Wild behavior. Gloria said the worst of monsters hide among religions. I mean, unfortunately. And I think that's why sometimes people do attack religion, because there's so many shadiness that can come from. And I think the reason it happens there is because trust is built in a lot of times in faiths, right? Where you're supposed to just trust people. They're supposed to be good people, kind of thing. And that's why you gotta, like, I always say to the kids, you gotta have critical thinking. You know what I mean? Like, just because somebody is in a place where you think they should be trustworthy doesn't mean that they are. And you don't want to live your life always in like hyper awareness, but like, it's just reality. You know what I mean? And I mean, my mom's like, what? Red flag. It's like all the red flags that you could possibly be waving. Now, mind you, like how many people knew certain things, I don't know. Sometimes people don't get in everybody's business, and I mean, rightfully so. People don't get in people's business, but like the people who did know, you could see, when Mica was getting married to John Paul, you could see her sisters not happy. Like I saw the pictures of them standing behind her, and you could tell. And when they were doing the documentary, that's what they said. Like we had to just pretend that we were okay with it, like but we were there just there to support her. But I could tell from their like them standing there, like there was like the first one closest to her did not look happy. The second one was very happy, but I don't think she was a sister. And then the third person was, I think, one of her other sisters, and she definitely like clenched jaw. She was not a happy camper whatsoever in regards to that one. Okay, what else? Gloria said his congregation is like a brainwashed cult. They'll say and do whatever he tells them to do. And the thing is, like, I think the like the church itself, like the physical building, like closed down, but like the people went with him. So the fact that he is married again and he's leading another congregation is wild. Rachel's view said, or drove her to it. He was blackmailing her. I definitely think that if he wasn't the one that did it, he drove her to it. Gloria said no forensics done either. Are you talking about like with Mica? Because yeah, the quickness in which the man announced to the congregation that his wife committed suicide before any like investigation was done, and then he like rushed to get her cremated. Suspicious. Gloria said drowning is the worst way to die too. Yeah, I'm scared. I don't know how to swim, so I hear this. Karina said, what's this case? Is the Mica Miller case. Hey Jill. Yes, and blind obedience. Yeah. Miley said this documentary is the pastor's wife. Correct? Yes, the death of the pastor's wife. Is what it's called, Miley. Prickly Pear 87. Some people are like a bull. They see red flags and run right at them. I guess so. Glory said he told them to pray for her downfall because she needed to be punished by God for not being with him, and they did it when the Bible says we shouldn't do that ever. Oh, did I miss that I might have missed that. My mother and I were kind of talking while the thing was going on, so yeah. Rachel, the only emotions I ever saw this man was crying for himself. He cried a lot, but for himself. It's wild. Molly said I have it queued up on my Netflix app. Yes, please let me know how you feel, what you thought about it. Gloria said that is why I believe he did it and forced her to make that call to the police. I mean, I think she called to. She said the reason she called is she wanted her family to find her. Is what she had said in the phone call. 12:36. I don't know why I said 12:36. Hi, Echo. You said I have no idea what's being talked about, but I enjoy listening. Echo, it's that Mica Miller case. It's just, it's such an upsetting thing. Glory said, "Where is the weapon?" I don't know. Kenny said, "I thought drowning was one of the more euphoric ways to go." Euphoric? I would never think of. Really? What? Why? And what does the euphoric mean in that context? Because let me euphoric. Characterized by feeling of intense excitement and happiness. Absolutely not. As somebody who's almost drowned multiple times in my life, it is nothing euphoric about it. I'm drowning. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary. Miley said, "Well, we'll be group watching." Rachel, ooh, y'all could put it on the Discord and turn it on with each other. Even though I won't be able to watch it with y'all. If somebody has a Netflix one that knows how to do it, because it totally blocked me when I was trying to show y'all's on Discord. But somebody says it's possible. Gloria said, "Yeah, they showed it in the doc. It was during his sermon." I probably did miss it because my mom and I were talking. Marley said, wait, oh, wait, no, that's between you and Rachel later. Okay. Echo said, my friend almost drowned, and they actually said it was remarkably peaceful when she stopped fighting it. Maybe that's why I never got there, Echo. Maybe that's why I never got it never got there for me, because I was fighting for dear life. I'm like, please, I don't want to die. No. Glory said it is the most painful. Yeah, that is per doctors. Oh. Rachel said that's the problem with church. People go there because they are broken or lost and get taken advantage of. I mean, that should not be what they experience at the church, right? Like, if people are going there because they're broken or lost, like, that should be a place where they get healed, not where they get even more broken, more lost, more disillusioned, more. And he's doing the thing with his dad. Okay, that man messed him up too. I don't know if they were hinting at something when they said he was also a victim of his dad's weakness. What do you mean? Are you saying what I think you're saying? Because why did you phrase it that way? Kenny said there's a moment before you go that I've heard is peaceful, but I guess dead people can't tell us. I don't know where I heard that. I mean, I always think that once you're dead, I feel like how could they know? I mean, I don't know. Unless somebody comes back from the dead. I mean, how would anybody know, really? Oh, my word, I got 20 minutes left. Probably less than 20 minutes, because if my mom is really resolute us leaving by 1, she'll be like, let's go. So that might not even be 20 minutes. We'll see. Hi at the beach 5367. Gloria says, still not an excuse for the sick things he did to Mica. Yeah, not at all. Hi, Kimberly. Kenny, I don't know if you needed to put that disclaimer, but thank you for putting the disclaimer that you're not an advocate for drowning. That is just what you heard. Yeah, I would think that you're not an advocate for it. Rachel said, Bocce, what's the name of the Medicube cream? Oh, the things that I use for my face? I actually have a lot that I use on my face. Un momento. Never mind. I just realized we already put it away in the car. But I'll show you one day. I'll put a posting on it. But honestly, any Medicube that you just look for things that are good for your particular skin type. All of the Medicube stuff I've ever done has been amazing. But mine tends to be like the pink one. I have a blue cleanser one, but the rest are pretty much like the pink. I don't know what you call them, but a lot of them are the pink one, the pink color, if that narrows it down. Gloria said, let's also remember he cheated on his first wife with Mica, then cheated on Mica a lot. Yeah. And the things he made her do is wild. Okay. So because I have little time left, I'm going to read you a little bit of the timeline based off of this prime timer. So hopefully it's accurate. I don't know this website from Adam. So hopefully it's kind of okay. So a timeline of the Mica Miller case and its latest unexpected twists. Explore the complete timeline of the tragic Mica Miller case, covering coercive control allegations, the Netflix docuseries, federal indictments, and major ongoing legal twists in South Carolina. So Mica Miller was a vibrant worship leader whose tragic death in April 2024 sparked widespread national outrage. and grief. Her sudden uh, passing inside a North Carolina state park raised urgent questions about years of alleged marital abuse. The compelling Netflix documentary series Death of the Pastor's Wife reveals the deep domestic turmoil behind her story. The three-part investigative production chronicles Mica Miller's painful marriage through journals and recorded interviews. Um, a chronological overview of this high profile case highlights continuous harassment, sudden tragedy, and unexpected federal legal developments. Recent investigation into her former husband have introduced dramatic courtroom twists that continue altering this complicated on. Hey, Khaleesi. Um, hey, Holly. I forget anyone else. Oh, hey, Justice. So the key and chronological developments in the investigation. Mica Miller was 30. She died. She just served her husband with divorce papers. He was also her pastor. So Mica Miller was 30 when she died, just 2 days after serving her husband with divorce papers. I interviewed Alexa Berger, producer of Netflix Death of a Pastor's Wife, about Mica's life, the warning signs, and the fight for Mica's law. So early relationship dynamics and initial divorce filings. So Mica began attending Solid Rock Church during her teenage years, quickly rising to direct the local musical choir. Pastor John Paul Miller, 15 years older, began a scandalous romance with his teenage aide. While publicly devoted, their marriage deteriorated into psychological dominance and strong spiritual manipulation. A divorce was filed in October 2023 after years of mental, physical, and financial anguish. So, escalating stalking, tracking devices, and property vandalism. As the separated spouses got more aggressive during separation proceedings in early 2024, harassment increased considerably. Professional mechanics found covert tracking equipment in Miller's car. Authorities also found specialized tire deflation devices purposely linked to her car wheels during that chaotic moment. Numerous stalking incidents to local police, but her urgent restraining orders were not granted. The tragic April 2024 passing and church reaction. Formally served divorce papers on April 25, attempting to break completely free from her oppressive and marital environment. 2 days later, she purchased a firearm, drove into Lumber River State Park, and called emergency responders. Law enforcement officials recovered her body from the water shortly afterward, officially ruling her untimely death as suicide. I can't get past this. Like, why would this is why I know that he wasn't physically there, at least that's what they claim. But I can't get past the fact that she finally gets the divorce. She finally gets to be free of him, and then she takes her life after she was fighting so hard. She was fighting so hard for freedom. Like, why would she then take her life the moment that she had the freedom? What did he do? What did he do? The following morning, J.P. Miller shockingly announced her death from the pulpit before official medical conclusions were finalized. His immediate public statement sparked severe public backlash and provoked profound skepticism from her grieving family members. The tragic story of Mica Miller and the ongoing fight for justice, federal investigations, and surprising cyberstalking charges. In November 2024, federal investigators searched a home and seized computer information and personal property. A December 2025 federal indictment charged J.P. Miller with chronic cyberstalking and false statements. Court records show a 528-day harassment campaign against Mica Miller before her death. Unauthorized photo releases, constant digital surveillance, car tampering, and lying to investigators were charged in federal indictments. The preacher pleaded not guilty to both alleged allegations and was released on high bond. Remarriage, ongoing trial continuances, and legislative reform. Following the tragedy, J.P. Miller sold church property and remarried church member Suzie Skinner during 2025. He presently continues holding religious services for small gatherings across various temporary Myrtle Beach pop-up rental locations. Federal judicial authorities granted multiple trial continuances, officially rescheduling his criminal court proceedings for October 2026. In honor of Mica Miller, surviving relatives advocate for statewide domestic abuse legal reform. Mica's Law, South Carolina Senate Bill 702, would make coercive control a felony. Non-physical domestic violence would carry a 10-year prison sentence under the proposed law. The bill stopped in 2026, but sponsors plan to reintroduce it next session. Okay, so that's a very, very quick timeline of events. So it's a messed up situation. So then that makes me think of, I don't know if y'all are watching the drama unfolding on TikTok with that person who there was a lawsuit that got settled. And let me see if I can find it now, because I'm like, this is wild. Like, what is happening here? Let me see if I can find the video or what the account is. I forget what her name is. It's like Vicky Hernandez or something like that. Let me see if I can find. Unless she deleted. I heard she was deleting her videos now. So who knows if she has deleted these videos. But does anyone know what I'm talking about on TikTok? This person may have deleted it, because I am not seeing. Oh wait, no. There. Okay, so the thing was whether she definitely deleted stuff. She definitely deleted stuff. Oh, she definitely deleted stuff. Because she was trying to make it seem like I just am talking about betrayal. Like, she's like navigating betrayal, me too. And people are like, no, like, this is a messed up thing. So this is the one that I'm talking about. So
with one of my closest friends, and I haven't been here on a while because my husband had an affair with one of my closest friends, and I've been a little bit busy dealing with the impact of that and how it has affected my life and all of those around me. And I have recently felt really compelled to talk about it because I'm like more than a year out of disclosure from my husband, but also Jen Hamilton has been talking about her like her husband's affair, and a lot of people have been like, why are you airing out your dirty laundry? Why are you even talking about this? Blah, blah, blah. And I feel for her, because I do think betrayal is something that people definitely talk about like it's dirty laundry. Like, they are like, well, it was just an emotional affair, or it was just a kiss, or...
Okay, so she's talking about this like, there was, my friend had an affair with my husband. Okay, she does not say that he met this girl when she was underage and he was the youth pastor. Okay, like, that's a pretty big, like, missing piece of the information. But let's see how else she tries to portray this.
Like, we minimize so much of the impact of what's going on in people's lives when they experience betrayal. So I have decided that I'm going to talk about it, and it's time to talk about it. I literally just got out of my therapy session. I go to a betrayal trauma therapist. I'm so lucky to have her. I'm very thankful that I have a specialist. But something that I have learned along the way is that the road of betrayal is incredibly isolating. And when my husband first came forward in June of last year to me, there was like no resources. It was like, oh, go to marriage therapy. And I'm like, wait a second, there is something deeply wrong with my husband, that he has had an affair with one of my closest friends for years. Like, going to marriage therapy, I don't think is going to solve that. Now, my husband and I, like, we had been in marriage.
Anna-JB, no, she was not talking about a different woman. She's talking about the woman that ends up filing a lawsuit against the church because, and apparently I don't know this particular person, but the person she's talking about apparently has a big following on social media. And she had a settlement, and they're like, is she saying all this stuff because the person had been given a settlement? And if there's a settlement, usually, unlike the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively situation, there are NDAs. There are NDAs. So, and if there's NDAs, that means that the victim can't speak out. And here she's talking about, oh, I was betrayed by my. She stayed with him. She's staying with him, and she's defending him. Now, mind you, she deleted a bunch of these videos, so now we only have 2 videos. But she was defending this man. He's not a groomer. He's not this. He's not that.
Therapy. I love my husband a lot and really just wanted him to get well. And I basically said, I don't care who you choose, but I will not share. And but my husband pretty quickly was like, I am not well. Like, this is not me. This is not who I want to be. Like, I don't know who I am right now. And so, and to complicate the matters, he is like in a ministry position at a church. He was in a ministry position at the church at the time, so he also had to resign. So not only, or he
again, like this comment said, he chose to resign because he had previously been her youth pastor. Dude, like what? No.
Chose to resign. Like, that was a choice that he made. There's a lot there, but basically, like, I found out my husband had an affair with one of my closest friends, and then like he doesn't have a job, and so now I'm the income provider. And then like a few months later, then the person that he had an affair with, which was one of my closest friends, you probably know who she is. Like, we were really close.
When she says you probably know who she is, it's because apparently she has a big social media following.
Close friends. We traveled the world together. She has a social media platform, and so like we were together a lot. And then she said that he had taken advantage of her. And so for years I've been sitting around while like she's been groomed by him effectively, and I was devastated.
Okay, so here's the thing that was wild to me. She says in this video, she acknowledges that she was groomed by him effectively. This lady then backtracks and gets all upset at everybody for calling it grooming. She's like, he didn't groom her. He didn't groom her. She was already grown. She was already older, and all these different things. And it's, but in this video, she says he groomed her effectively. Why did she change her tune and suddenly say that no?
On so many levels, right? Like, your husband tells you that they have an affair, and then suddenly like then your church is being sued for sexual harassment because of something that your husband did or didn't do. So
did or didn't do. She's, well, I mean, obviously she keeps saying like, well, because it's settled, which, and we know that settlement doesn't mean one way or the other, right? It's sometimes people just want to end the case. It is what
ultimately, like,
oops,
like my experience wasn't that like she was being taken advantage of, but what's important is that she felt like that. And so she filed a lawsuit, and so I became the paralegal of that. I did write a
which I think is sketchy like crazy. What do you mean she files a lawsuit and you become the paralegal for that? Is that not a conflict of interest? Is that not a conflict of interest? I think that's wild.
Recently about that. That's pretty raw about the impact of then what a lawsuit kind of did to me, because I was like, well, I need to know like what is true, because betrayal is incredibly disorienting, like so disorienting. It's like, wait, were we friends? Did that happen? Like, I'll talk more about that later. But basically, like, I became paralegal, went through all this stuff. Ultimately, there were no depositions or anything. My husband was found not liable. Well, it was dismissed, basically. Like, my husband was dismissed from the lawsuit. And so, yeah, that
I mean, later on, she admits it was a settlement, not just a straight up dismissal. It was a settlement. And I mean, and it wasn't against her husband. I think it was against the church itself. She sued the church, I believe.
Had a huge impact on me, because then that was like posted everywhere. And so I was getting messages like, your husband's a groomer, like, why are you staying with him, all this stuff. So my husband's like, during this time, like going through a recovery program, like he's He had pretty immediately gone to go to like a retreat. He then had accountability partners. We both went to have been in a recovery program for the past year, like a 12-step program. Highly recommend. I'll probably talk more about that too. But like we were like in the hospital season of life. Like my husband was like, I'm not okay. I was like, you're not okay. You need to go get well. I need to get well. And we are not answering the question. Like some people would be like, why are you with him? Why are you planning? And I was like, I'm not here to answer that question right now. I'm here to say, in sickness and in health, my husband's not well. I've been with him since we were 15. So we've been married for 10 years, like together for 20 years. I was like, this is not my husband. Like, we need to get him well. So for like a year, we just focused on recovery. Like, no, like, what does the next 10 years look like? Those are not questions that you ask. You don't make big life decisions in traumatic experiences. And now we're in the process of restoration of what does it look like to like restore marriage, like post betrayal. And there's a saying of like, it takes 3 miles to walk in, 3 miles to walk out. So like a 3-year affair, like it's going to take 3 years to even like get to a place of like feeling any sort of like normalcy maybe. And like trust is time plus believable behavior. So some people are like, well, why didn't you separate? Well, I want the time plus the believable behavior. If you want to have level 10 access to me, you have to have level 10 accountability. And I knew that like being close to our friends and family, he would have that. And he like just
The husband, I think, is only a year older than her. I think he was 6 years older than the victim. But he met her when she was a minor, I believe.
went all in for that.
Though her point is like the affair didn't, and what she refers to as the affair did not happen until the person was in her early 20s.
Like resource ourselves pretty quickly. And yeah, so now I'm just gonna like talk about this because this is something that's really important to me, about like documenting like the impact, like your impact letters. So for me, there's an impact like my husband's disclosure to me, my friend's disclosure to me and that betrayal, and then also like the lawsuit and that betrayal, and then like what it was like to read every text message that had been written over 3 years time, to basically like prove that my husband had an affair and it wasn't like nefarious.
What? What? He had an affair, but it wasn't like nefarious? What kind? Wait. Okay. Wicked or criminal? Okay. Is that nefarious is wicked or I don't sorry. What?
So like there's a lot there, right? So I'm just going to be talking about it. I know I haven't been on TikTok in a long time, but I did really enjoy when I was posting on TikTok. And I think that sometimes we don't want to talk about affairs because they feel like dirty laundry. It's like, we don't want to talk about pornography. We don't want to talk about these things that like they do affect our marriages and they affect our life. And it was really hard to find resources. And so I'm just going to like be here talking about this. I literally right now have this like worksheet from my therapist that she gave me today that is like really great. So maybe I'll like share some of this stuff. I know that a lot of people out there are going to be like, why are you talking about this? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I feel really led that when things are brought to the light, like there is freedom. Like I have felt that. I have seen restoration happen, and I don't know what the next 5 years has in store, but like I know that today I can make the next right step. And that means like being the person that I wish I would have had a year ago. Because if you're walking through betrayal, if you're walking through abandonment, if like in your marriage, maybe there's like, I don't know, minimization of some sins.
Oh!
Like,
you don't say. You don't say. I mean, like the like let's sidestep so many of the biggest pieces of this whole thing.
let's talk about it. Like, I don't know. I know I used to like talk about fun stuff, but this is good work. And I do think the Lord has really put it on my heart to talk about it. And it's going to be messy. Like I'm not a perfect person by any right. And yeah, but we're just going to navigate it together.
Absolutely not.
My close friends filed a lawsuit against my husband for grooming and sexual.
And as people said here, if she was a child, she was not your close friend. Uninvolve us, delete this, divorce him. The charge you're blanking on is called statutory. Girl, I'm so serious. What was your goal of posting this? Crying emojis. If you don't leave him, you are condoning his behavior.
Harassment, and it was against the church that we attended. So I guess this is something I need to talk about now and kind of what happened, or like, this is my perspective on the matter. I am not a like perfect person in the slightest.
Okay, this is the second time she says I'm not a perfect person in any right or in the slightest. We know. No need to tell us twice. We know. We know nobody is. Nobody is. But why preface like that? Both like end with that in your last video, start with it in this video. I don't know.
So I'm just going to talk about like what my experience was. And I will preface if I like know something is like not fact or like just opinion. The story starts back 2025. Really buckle up because I'm going to try to do this in under 10 minutes. In May of 2025, my husband came forward to his supervisor that he was having an inappropriate relationship with my friend, who also was a coworker at the church. And then nothing really happened from that, from what I understand. And so 2 weeks later, he came back to the supervisor and he said, I'm still having an inappropriate relationship. And in between those 2 weeks, there are text messages from my husband's phone that are basically her saying, the supervisor can't tell us what to do. Like, we will still talk. I will get a burner phone. Like, it was very much like, we will still continue on a relationship, like, no matter what, if there's more boundaries at work. And I think like one of the boundaries was like, don't drive in a car together or something like that. I'm like, 2 weeks later, he comes.
Who? What's her name? Rachel's view. Rachel, are you talking about the person talking right now? Because the person's name is Vicky Hernandez.
Comes forward to me and says, hey, I'm in an inappropriate relationship and I've been cheating on you with one of your closest friends, all the things. And then like the next few weeks are absolute shock. Like, I truly, like, it was an out of body experience. I was like, wait, I love this person, my husband, I love this person, my friend, and I'm not sure what to do. Like, I don't know what the way forward is, but it was very clear that I wasn't to talk about it. The supervisor told me like, this isn't something we're going to talk about. And I was like, okay, got it. So I didn't talk about it with anyone. And that was really hard because I like truly didn't know what to do. So on like June 28th, 2025, I went to my friend and I said like, hey, I know what's going on. If, you know, we have.
I don't know if you do. I don't think that you do. I've before she deleted all these other videos, because this is the only two that's remaining. I don't think she really does. I know what's going on. I don't think you do. I mean, you paralegaled it, you read the stuff, but I don't think you do.
Have to be around each other. Like, I'm just not going to be like the same me. Like, we're not the same us, and we're gonna have to figure out this out in the future. Because for the 2 weeks before, I was like kind of pretending like she didn't know that I knew. And like it was really hard. Like, you can't live your life like that in darkness. And so then on June 29th, we all headed to summer camp. Like, literally, they sent us up a mountain to camp together. And yeah, I'm an adult. I can make a decision not to go. But I was like, I'm going. I love camp. I love my students. And that is what I'm going to do. So I did that. I went to camp and I like really did focus on the students. It was such a sweet week at camp. Should I have been there? Probably not. And it was a really hard week for the people involved. And then the Saturday after camp, Joel was like, I need to get out of here. Like, I can't be working, around this person. Like, we've been in this dynamic for years, and like, we try to get out. We like try to make excuses to get out. We try to bring people in to get us out. Like, it's not working. And so then 2 weeks later, he resigned from his position at the church. And He wrote a resignation letter, and it did include that he had let down his marriage. The church leadership at the time decided that it wasn't best to say that, so they went ahead and said it was burnout. Now, 100%. He was burnt out. He was burnt out years ago. He should have not been doing ministry. Like, he will be the first to tell you that he was not in a place to be doing ministry. So it said it was burnout. And then people at the church were like, wait a second, we know him. We know it's not burnt. Like, we know he's probably burnt out, but we know that's not why he's leaving. Like, we are much smarter than this. So they started to have questions. They like definitely were like kind of pushing back on leadership. And she had like remained there. And there were some like inklings that there was an inappropriate relationship, but it wasn't like being said, because they had the leadership at the church basically said we must maintain the dignity of all people involved. And because she was still there and she wasn't like coming forward with the situation, like, you know, you can't like speak to someone what someone else is doing. So then and also an NDA was signed. So
let me tell you some of the things that she does not tell you. One of the accusations that this person makes in her lawsuit is that this person's husband AI'd her naked and told her that he was working on a sermon on lust, and he felt like he was never gonna, unless I'm mistaking this for another story. I'm pretty sure this is the one, because I think I read like a snippet of the lawsuit, which I need to find the lawsuit and read it. But like, she's making it sound so cash. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's absolutely omitting so many things that were said. Like, it's wild.
So he couldn't like speak to the situation. So then like fast forward to October, I think. I'm really oversimplifying this. Fast forward to October.
You think? I'm really oversimplifying. You think?
Then I don't know what happened with her employment, but there was a conversation with our high school leadership team, their volunteer staff, and she told them that she had been manipulated by my husband for years. And so like this was a huge shock to them. Like, they were very hurt because they're hearing this for the first time, right? They're like, wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean there's something nefarious? Like, it was a huge impact. And
I thought there was nothing nefarious, you said. Now, what do you mean there was something nefarious?
Like, I feel deeply for them. And so, yeah, that was kind of the first time like I heard any form of like manipulation. Maybe that was the term. I wasn't in the room, so I can't speak to that at all. But I want to be clear that I did ask her months prior if she was taken advantage of by my husband, and she said no. And then there was another conversation that we had about another relationship, and she had named that as her being taken advantage of. So so there was another relationship during this period that she was also had said that she had been taken advantage of. So that's why I was really clear. I wanted to ask her like what the situation was. And yeah, then fast forward to February, because this is once again an oversimplification of the matter. I don't know. I don't even know if I should be saying this on the internet. Like, what, you guys are all just going to troll me. And so then in February, there was a lawsuit that was filed against the church, and it claims sexual harassment and stalking and like, oh shoot, I'm blanking. I should know this. And then she posted on social media that like my husband had manipulated her and groomed her since she was like in high school, presumably. And that was the first time I heard that. And that was probably the hardest day of my life, because if it was true, like I sat around, like I was here. It like they were in my house. Like, we were eating dinner together, cooking food. We traveled to Europe. We went to Florida. Like, we were with each other all the time. Like, I went with her to New York. Like if I wanted to go golfing, like she would come golfing with me. Like, she babysat my nieces and my nephews. Like this, like to say grooming, like I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to take this seriously. So like I took it seriously and I said, I don't want to hear from you, husband. I'm going to be the paralegal on this case. And luckily, like our attorney is amazing. And he allowed me to do all the like disclosure and the digging, and I made the timelines, and I went through thousands of text messages for years. And you might be being like, that's crazy. Yes, it is. Yes, I know, but I was like, I have to know if I'm going to make a decision one day, whether or not I'm going to be with this person. And that like wasn't on the table, was my 5-year plan. But I need to know. I need to know the truth. And once again, like I'm only me, and my experience of the situation was that she was welcome in our home and she chose to be in my home, and she chose to make videos here with her brother making cookies, and she chose to be part of our lives. Yeah, her and her boyfriend Jake, we became really close friends, like with them, like during COVID time in 2020. Like it just was like altering my reality. And we're at like 9 minutes right now, so this is too long. But yeah, and then the case like happened pretty quickly. There was no like depositions, no trial. Like I was honestly prepared to move to depositions. Like I was going to take this seriously. Also, this is not a criminal case. This is like there's no like guilty verdict. Like this isn't a criminal lawsuit. I have 20 seconds. Oh my gosh. Then so there was mediation. We were not even involved in the mediation. And then Joel was dismissed with prejudice. One of my close friends filed a law.
Okay. I don't know if you want to see Joel, unless you deleted him off here. You'll see Joel somewhere. I saw this dude and I'm like, all this for this guy? This
could be involved. Could be involved. We're going to go see Wicked, so we're going to interview my husband on what he knows about Wicked. He has seen Wicked before. Honey, what is the opening scene of Wicked?
It opens up and it's Glenda, and then there's the green one, the Wicked Witch, Alphaba. Alphaba is being born, and she's green.
Why is she green?
Honestly, it's really blending with the movie Shrek at this point. It's hard to remember what is she. Which one of them go to like the castle with Lord Farquaad? That's Shrek. Okay. The other one, it's why is she green? She's green because the dad has.
Oh, yes. I don't want to listen anymore, but this is the guy. This is the dude. This is the one. Now, people did end up doing deep dives around this. Okay, the fact that I have not left, I guess we're not leaving at 1, obviously, because we're still going now. They have not stopped me. So we're just gonna keep going until I get stopped over.
My husband is being called a groomer and a pedophile in my comment section, so I feel like
Okay, see, notice this? This video no longer exists. This video no longer exists.
Do need to address that. And a lot of people are going to be like, why are you defending your husband? This is morally reprehensible. Yes, you're right. But I also think it's the right thing to do to call out when something is just wrong.
Your husband is a creep, and you two are morally reprehensible. The church settled with the girl in lieu of this going to court and everything being public record. And surprise, surprise, this is such a common issue that churches have insurance for that stuff. Allegedly, per the court filings, this man took pictures of the plaintiff and uploaded them into an AI nude generator. When confronted about it, he said he was using those images for a sermon on lust because this man is a youth pastor, was a youth pastor, apparently. You want to stick by your creepy man? Do it fucking quietly, okay? What are you doing? Who are you trying to convince of what? You think you're going to create a sisterhood of women with creepy husbands? That fucking Stapleton lady is right there. DM her. Go grab a drink. Stop trying to normalize staying with creepy men. He will always be creepy. You cannot train that out of him. No amount of religious therapy is going to help. And you know that, frankly.
My husband is being.
So let me see if I can read the. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I started sneezing all of a sudden. And if anybody knows, I sneeze like an elephant. Like it's like earth shattering. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I can't. So it says non-consensual nudification and sexual boundary violations. Long before any overt romantic involvement, Mitchell disclosed to plaintiff that he had let me see if I can get this. He had, what's that word? Something photographs of plaintiff into an AI. Oh, wait, let me see if I can find a better picture of this.
Now, I know we all been down the rabbit hole with the youth pastor and the youth pastor's wife. But I'm going to say this. If your husband used AI to generate inappropriate photos of that young woman, that is typically an early sign. Okay? I've worked in the legal field. I've studied law. I've studied criminal law. Okay? It's typically an early sign of those type of people. Okay? And I'm going to give a quick PSA to parents. Do not use AI to edit your family's photos, your child's photos. Do not use it because AI does not know how to delete a face. It's just going to go to the next person's prompt. Your child's picture is going to be out there. Do not use it. Now, I know we all.
Okay, that I was hoping that it was going to show, because I know I saw this. Okay, here, it might be here.
Miss Vicky Hernandez, let's talk about this right here. If you're going to get on the internet to try to defend your husband for sexually harassing someone that he's known since she was a child, let's address this right here. Because this is what's important, really. You're sitting there posting these videos with your own perspective of.
Okay, so I'm just going to read what it says here. Long before any overt romantic involvement, Mitchell disclosed to plaintiff that he had obtained photographs of plaintiff and used an AI nude generator to create explicit fake images of plaintiff without plaintiff's consent. Mitchell framed this conduct as connected to his work on a sermon on lust, telling plaintiff he was sad he would never see her naked and that he created the images for that reason. On or about April 23, 2022, Mitchell texted plaintiff about finding a deep nude site, discussed its accuracy, transmitted a file for upload, and directed plaintiff to use an AI nudification application. Mitchell added words to the effect of "don't save that," reflecting awareness that the conduct was wrong, while nonetheless pushing the sexualized content onto plaintiff. In follow-up exchanges, Mitchell acknowledged that he had done this before and described doing it again. Like, but that's why I'm like, the other thing that she deleted was because she showed the she showed the lawsuit. But yeah, there's definitely videos she deleted, but you still see segments of it because people had don't know. But I do wonder what the and okay. Somebody actually put it somewhere here. It was against the Trinity United Presbyterian Church. So, like, she didn't sue the actual, like, person. She sued the church. Let me see if... How do we... Is there a way to get these? I wonder if it's... I wonder if Reddit has it at all. Kimberly said I was unaware that you could bring a lawsuit. What do you, Kimberly, what did you mean? What do you mean? What? That can't be. I'm sorry. Right when I opened up my Reddit, there was a post on Star Magazine about Blake Lively. So, un momento. It says Blake Lively is angry after judge ordered Justin Baldoni to pay less than $400K in legal fees. Blake Lively is reportedly unhappy after a judge ordered Justin Baldoni to pay the Gossip Girl alum less than $400,000 in legal fees. Well, it was a little more than $400,000. Well, I mean, the attorney's fees plus whatever, it's $407,000. But anyways, Blake is angry, frustrated, and absolutely convinced she deserved more, a source told Rob for his Naughty But Nice Substack on Thursday, August 27th. She thought she could appeal. Why would she think that? You know what? Every time I tell Elsridge that I think that Blake Lively can read, she pulls it. If this source is correct, then she cannot read. She knows quite well that the settlement said they're not going to appeal. They're not going to. Girl, you knew you were not going to be able to appeal. She thought she could appeal, keep fighting, and eventually get the massive victory she wanted. She still doesn't understand that sometimes the smartest move is to stop. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take a picture of this and say to Elsridge, you're right. That girl does not know how to read. I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to say, every time I think of saying that Blake can read, stories come out like this. Stories come out like this, and I'm like, ain't no way. You knew you couldn't appeal. So I don't know if it's real, but come on. Hi, naughty one. You said that's why she didn't read the It Ends With Us book. The Simple Favorite actress, 39, accused Baldoni, 42, of sexual harassment on the set of their 2024 film It Ends With Us, based on the best-selling Colleen Hoover novel. Lively was seeking nearly $8 million from Baldoni after settling their lengthy legal battle in May, just 2 weeks before they were supposed to go to trial. However, Judge Louis J. Lyman called Lively's request an outrageously unreasonable demand, Page 6 reported on Wednesday. She wanted millions because she wanted a number that screamed vindication, the source tells Shooter. It's a fraction of what she demanded, and she's humiliated. Well, despite her embarrassment, Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, has been incredibly supportive. Oh, so this is a Ryan Reynolds source. Every time there's a pro, like I'm a wonderful husband slant, that's Ryan Reynolds. That's Ryan Reynolds all the stinking way. This is not about Blake Lively. This is about Ryan Reynolds. This is a way for Ryan Reynolds to say I'm a wonderful husband. But even he's telling her enough. Oh, wow. This is definitely a Ryan Reynolds source. He wants to look good. He wants to look like the sane one. He wants their lives back. He understands that continuing to fight every battle can become its own defeat. Blake still believes walking away means losing. No, girl. I mean, learn. You can't stop. The source added, everyone around Blake sees the lesson except Blake. She remains convinced the problem is the outcome, not her expectations. That's why moving on is proving so difficult. Oh my word. Hopefully this is not true, because she has lost it all if that's the case. Following Judge Lyman's ruling, which was issued on Lively's 39th birthday. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, I already laughed in privacy. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, which was issued on Lively's 39th birthday, Tuesday, August 25. The actress attorneys issued a statement. As we have said from day one, Blake Lively's case was never about money. It was about accountability. And that's why we settled instead of going to court. Ezra Hudson and Michael Gottlieb told Page 6, she lifted the curtain for other victims and set the precedent for others to come forward and expose similar conduct. Okay. Wow. All right. That was a... Oopsie. Oh, nothing on. There's nothing on. Okay, there's nothing on that. When will the document? Oh, click to archive drive. Oh, here it is. Oh, hello. Oh my word. Oh my word. Wait a minute. Whose account is this? Who did I just open up? Wait a minute. Oh, it's her. I hate myself. I didn't even realize when I opened it up, it's her. She's the one who's putting out the information. She's like, here's my timeline. I knew the minute I opened up the timeline, I realized it was her. Vicky Hernandez person. Because I knew it was her because she had shown this article, this document right here on her talk, the one that she deleted. So, anyways, hi extraterrestrial Bocce, what are you looking for? I'm lost. Sorry, it was a different case. It was Esperanza versus Trinity United Presbyterian Church. Pam, no, we didn't bounce back to the pastor's wife, though very close. It's the same vein. It's the same vein, but different case. Gloria said, please do out. It was never about, but it was always about video botching. Please, with all their goalposts moving. I need that. Oh, my word. My word. I wonder if there is a fast way to get all of their comments. Hold on. Okay. Could you Okay, sorry. Now I'm just like wondering when we're gonna leave. I really like right now the traffic. I feel like I need to tell them if we really need to go though. To be there at the time that we're supposed to be there. So far, so good. But probably I hear. Let's see here. It sounds like, it looks like by January and April 2026, her team was using more explicit core, always been, and heart language centered on hostile work environment and retaliation. That's that in January and April of 2026. But I'm trying to get a list of all of the statements that they've made. January 22, 2026, Siegfried Macaulay said the case was about Lively doing her job and being subjected to sexual harassment, ending with, that's it. That's what the case is about. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, let's start off with some of the answers here. So the first statement was December 31, 2024. They said Wayfarer retaliated against Lively for reporting sexual harassment and workplace safety concerns. But on January 7, 2025, they characterized the litigation as involving serious claims of sexual harassment and retaliation and emphasized the alleged retaliatory astroturfing campaign. January 16, 2025, they framed it as a woman speaking out with concrete evidence of sexual harassment and retaliation and then being attacked for doing so. February 3, 2025, in court, Gottlieb emphasized that Lively had suffered an ongoing campaign of retaliation and said Friedman's public statements were continuing that campaign. February 12, 2025, Michael Gottlieb and Ezra Hudson, their discovery statement focused heavily on the alleged retaliation campaign. They said discovery would expose the people and methods allegedly used to destroy and bury Lively's reputation. May 8, 2025, Michael Gottlieb said they wanted to focus on what they believed was the core part of the case, the alleged retaliation campaign launch because Lively had raised sexual harassment concerns. He separately said the case was about what happened to Lively after she raised those concerns. So the main point was the retaliation, which I always said, if you read the lawsuit, it's very clear. When you read the lawsuit, that is what they care about. Oh, did I miss Umami? And Kialoha Lee also. Hi. Sorry if missed saying hi. June 9, 2025, Michael Gottlieb said, when discussing Baldoni's dismissed countersuit on CNN, described Lively's affirmative suit simply as one for sexual harassment and retaliation plus other claims. And then January 16, 2026, Macaulay joined Lively's team. She said the case at its core concerned a woman subjected to a hostile work environment who was then attacked for standing up for herself and coworkers. This formulation still incorporates both the workplace conduct and the response to her complaints. Then January 2022, 2026, she says this case is about her performing her job at the workplace and being subjected to sexual harassment. That's it. And then on April 2, 2026, so this is where you hear it. It's, I would say where they started changing their tune was around January to August. So they said this case has, so the first time she said it, she said this case is about her performing her job in the workplace and being subjected to sexual harassment. Then it became, this case has always been and will remain focused on the devastating retaliation. That's how it changed. So let me see. Let me see. Ugh. So this is what she said on January 22, 2026, right here. Right? She says she's in a, according to Macaulay, Lively wants to go to trial, which is set for May 18. She explained she's in a position where she has mountains of strong evidence. She feels really good about her claims, and she wants to send a message for all women that if you are wronged and harmed in the workplace, you can stand up for yourself. Macaulay also pointed out that the unsealed docs showed that Lively wasn't the only woman to raise concerns on the It Ends With Us set, saying Blake was not alone. There were multiple women who raised concerns in their this workplace. Not in what she was trying to say. Come on now. Blake Lively should be an example for our daughters to follow. She stood up for herself in the workplace, as we would hope our daughters would do as well. Macaulay claimed that Baldoni acted inappropriately toward Blake and other women on set, insisting they deserve justice and they deserve accountability. Macaulay praised Lively for being brave and standing up for herself and her female colleagues. Extra spoke with Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, about the... Okay, hold on. Where's the actual quote from her? Sorry, I must have missed it up there. Oh, up here. Hello. It's literally up here. They said, when asked about Blake's reaction to the unsealed text, Macaulay noted Blake has worked very hard to protect her friends and acquaintances she's had along the way. No, she did not. That woman threw everyone under the bus as much as needed in order to try to save her own bacon. Hi, Elisa. Hi, Donna. Extraterrestrial said Gottlieb and Gottlieb is giving Bodgy to be PTSD from the other life with Elsie and Carol. This is true. This case is not about those individuals. This case is about her performing her job in the workplace and being subjected to sexual harassment. That's it. That's what the case is about. So that's what she said in January 22. By April 2, the sexual harassment claims were dismissed. So what did she say instead? The minute that the sexual harassment claims were dropped, or not dropped, sorry, that's TMZ's twist, dismissed by the judge. Macaulay said, Blake Lively's lawyer, Siegfried, says, this case has always been and will remain focused on the devastating retaliation and the extraordinary steps the defendants took to destroy Blake Lively's reputation because she stood up for safety on the set, and that is the case that is going to trial. The statement continues, for Blake Lively, the greatest measure of success of justice is that the people... Okay. Let me finish one line, and then I'll go. I gotta go. And the playbook behind these coordinated digital attacks have been exposed and are already being held accountable by other women they've targeted. She looks forward to testifying at trial. Right, yeah, right. And continuing to shine a light on this vicious form of online retaliation so that it becomes easier to detect and fight. Macaulay asks, sexual harassment isn't going forward, not because the defendants did nothing wrong, but because the court determined Blake Lively was an independent contractor, not an employee. That's something you already knew. all of y'all stinking lawyers who are smart enough already knew that, but you still went ahead, didn't you? Didn't you? So that's your fault. Okay, there's more. Let's see here. I got to go. Let me see. On April 3, Gottlieb used two different formulations at once. First, he said the sexual harassment allegations had always been the beating heart of the case, and and was why Lively sued. But he also said her surviving core claims were that she complained what she believed. So he said the beating heart was the sexual harassment, and the core claims, though, was about the retaliation. And then Blake Lively herself said that the heart of her case was the pervasive retaliation. And then on August 26, 2026, that's when we had Ezra Hudson and Michael Gottlieb saying this was never about money, but always about accountability, which, again, as people have said, if it was about accountability, then you would have gone to, okay, I'm going. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. I know.